Welcome back to the Intersint podcast. This is episode 39. I didn't know where to go from there.
I was waiting to see what you would come up with.
I have nothing anymore.
No.
With the concussion and everything, which, by the way, we're recording this back to back, like after the last one.
Yeah.
My brain is just, I cannot think of things like that anymore.
You'll get it back.
Once I get better with it, I'll be back to normal.
You normal, yes.
Quote unquote normal. I don't know if we talked about this last week, but one of the big things about having a concussion is I can't have caffeine.
Right.
I've been drinking so much water. It's just water and tea that I've just been going to the bathroom nonstop throughout the day.
That's the main reason why I'm not such a big water drinker anymore. Because I remember back in school I was.
Well, and then when you got hired at the company we worked at, every single day you'd walk in with the biggest bottle I've ever seen of water.
My big mammoth jug.
Like it's something a pro athlete would have.
It was something to help me with my water intake. Did it help? No.
Did you ever drink out of that thing?
See, for me, it was like, it forced me to drink water, but it didn't have like a straw or anything with it. So when I tilted it, it always like just splashed onto my face. And I just kept forgetting how like little I am. Those things are not made for people like me.
It's almost like half of your size. I was always like, every time you walked in with that thing, because it was like before we were actually talking.
Yeah.
And every time you walked in with that, I'm like, holy shit. Like, how does she drink that much water in a single day?
I never did. I would always fill it up and it was just like stay like that. And I'd bring it in the next day and the next day and the next day.
So really, it was just
my week's worth of water.
Yeah, your week's worth of water. It wasn't your daily water.
No. And then I got tired carrying that every day up the stairs. I was like, you know what? Fuck it.
It was like a built-in workout at the same time.
Pretty much.
I got to the point there too with like, well, one, my coffee intake was really bad at that job.
Oh, yeah.
But then it got to the point where I was drinking nonstop water as well.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, I'm not even drinking most of what I used to drink back at that job. And I'm like, I'm just nonstop to the bathroom and I'm getting tired of this.
Yeah.
Like I went right before we started recording and I guarantee by the time we're done, I'm like, I'm going to have to run to the bathroom again.
I know. I know.
Yeah, that's every time we go somewhere.
The first thing you do is try to find a bathroom.
You're like a mom. When we get somewhere, you're like, do you need to go to the bathroom?
You need a potty? You're going to do it now.
Do it now because we're not seeing another one for a while. When we would go hiking.
Oh, man. Don't even remind me.
We would stop and get coffee because it's usually a long drive to get to the place.
And we'd leave like really early too.
Yeah. So by the time we got there, before we even left to go up the trail or something, it's like, all right.
You'd stop by like the trailhead bathrooms.
Bathroom time. Then halfway up the mountain.
Yep. You'd find like a clearing.
Yeah. You keep lookout. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. And I think when we got back down, I had to go again.
Yes, before we left.
It got to the point where we're like, okay, no more coffee because I'm just peeing all the time.
No more liquids for you before we even do anything.
I know. Remember back on our very first leg we ever did? Where...
What? Oh, Fake Tiger Mountain, yeah.
Fake Tiger Mountain. I think we talked about this already.
Did we?
Oh yeah, with the spider web. You walked through
We
it.
did, yes. Yeah.
But I was so used to Pennsylvania hikes that all I would ever have is just a water bottle and I was good.
Oh, okay. Was it just flat all the time?
Yeah, it's not many hills.
Must be nice.
So then here, I'm like, oh yeah, just a water bottle. That's what I always do. And I was almost done with that whole water bottle 2 hours into the hike.
Probably less.
It was like, you didn't have any water at all, I don't think.
No, I don't think so, no.
So I'm like, we're conserving it in case you need it. And just like, that was the worst
It was like, I think it was like towards the end where it's like, you needed mine.
Oh, you did bring water then?
I did. I just didn't drink out of it.
Oh, okay. I'm like a camel. I just drink water all the time.
But you don't conserve it at all.
I need humps on my back.
Do you now?
Could you imagine if humans had that? Just water humps pouches on their backs that they can hold water.
That'd be creepy. I don't like that. Is it something that you can show people?
Do we have to censor
Or do you
this?
have to conceal it?
I would imagine if you went jogging or something, you'd have to wear a back bra to hold your humps in place. My lovely water humps.
I was just gonna try to make a joke out of that.
With how many times we were saying that word, I'm like, I was
You have
expecting you to say it, but you didn't.
I was waiting for a good time to say it.
There's a lot of things like that I wish humans had. Like, you look at some of the evolutionary things with animals, and it's like, why don't we have that too?
Like what?
Alligators or crocodiles have that protective film that they can shoot across their eye when they go underwater.
Oh, yeah.
So they can see and not get anything in their water or in their eyes.
Mhm.
I want that for swimming. Like,
Do you swim though?
I haven't in a very long time.
Exactly. So why would you need it?
But imagine if we could do that. Just like, or if you're in the shower, there's a little like, sink, and then your film's over your eyes and you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, sure. I mean, I don't think that would be... It'd be cool, but it won't be really necessary.
I think it would be. It's like a windshield for your eyeballs.
Okay.
Even that too. Like, imagine you're riding a bike or it's a really windy day. You put the little screen over your eyes, and then the wind can't hurt your eyes, and you can actually keep your eyes open.
Windshield wipers.
I would love that. And like lizards, how they can make their eyes, the iguana or
Chameleon.
chameleons, how their eyes go in different directions. I want to do that
Why?
because then I can always check my surroundings.
What is threatening you that you need to check your surroundings?
Imagine if I was working at my computer,
Mhm.
and this was back at the company we worked at, and then you came over to ask me a question, and I can just shoot my right eyeball over to you.
I don't like that.
To talk to you while
No, thank you.
left
No.
and working at the same time.
I would just move that eyeball back.
You turn your head. You never thought about that? Like things that you could have that animals have that.
I probably may have. I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now.
Imagine like we were like snakes too. Like you had to put out your tongue to like get the sniff scent of the air.
But we could already smell.
Yeah, it'd be funnier if it was your tongue. It's like you put your tongue out there. "Blah, blah, blah. Who's making pizza?"
Although I do wish I could have the senses that animals do, though.
Like what?
Like with cats, how they could see in the dark really well.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to have the night vision. Or like how, what is it, the mantis shrimp can see like colors that we can't even imagine.
Exactly, yeah.
That'd be crazy to just see the world in like all these weird colors.
I had 4K.
That's like 12K at that point. I've always said it too. I think we've even talked about it on here. I would love to have a monkey tail.
Have we talked about us on here?
Yeah. I would
Okay.
just love to pick things up with a tail.
I mean, you've seen me pick up things with my foot.
Oh, you just I forget what we were doing.
I did that the last time I was over.
Yeah, and I'm always impressed when a woman can do that.
Oh, I'm not the only one.
No, it's a very common thing that women do.
Real? Oh, maybe. Because I've seen like videos on that too.
I guess it's just because you pick up things with your feet a lot more.
How?
I don't know.
I think it's more, the more you do it, the more your foot becomes used to it.
Oh yeah, it's like anything. You just gotta do it enough times for muscle memory and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you did it with such grace and such ease. It was like watching tiny little fingers pick something up. I was like, how do you do that?
I want to do that.
I can't remember. Can you like walk on stones and stuff barefoot?
What do you mean?
Like no socks or anything, just loose stones.
I think so.
Really? My feet are so sensitive to that where like if I didn't have shoes or socks on and I had to walk across like loose stones.
I think beach stones, with how rugged they are, probably not. But with like landscaping stones where they're like all smooth, and I think I can.
I would, even those, I'd take my time.
Really?
It hurts so much.
Your feet are pretty sensitive. You don't like that being touched.
Ever since I was a kid,
Really?
I remember my mom trying to cut my toenails as a child, and I was kicking and like both screaming and laughing because it was ticklish, but I was terrified of my toes being touched. Anytime I get,
Isn't that all kids though? Because I remember doing that too.
oh, did you?
Not screaming, but more like not wanting my toenails cut.
Oh,
Like fingers were fine, but it was just like the feeling of like someone else touching my feet.
exactly. Yeah, and I guess I just never grew out of that.
Oh, okay.
So then, like, if I get a foot massage at a massage place or something,
Or like even like a pedicure, I guess, right?
well, it used to be bad, but now it's like getting used to it more and more.
You don't think you should get like weekly pedicures just to
Ooh.
build up on that?
There we go. We went for. Did we talk about that on here?
No.
We went to one. My first time ever getting one.
I forget why.
We were hiking a lot, and so the whole thing was we're gonna do this very big long hike.
Oh, like a 12-hour hike.
Yeah, at the end of the year. That's the one I
Yeah.
got stung on my head.
hmm
And then after that, because we're done for the year on hiking, we're gonna go do the pedicure thing just to relax
Loosen
our
up
feet.
all that. Yeah. The tension.
And I fell asleep in the chair.
You did? I found that so hilarious. I was trying not to laugh so hard.
Hey, it was a massage chair with like the back, my necks, my legs, everything was just getting massaged with the chair, and then I have this lady massaging my feet, and I'm just like out.
It got to the point where the lady who was massaging your feet tapped to me and like pointed at you. And I look over and you're just like passed the fuck out.
It was so relaxing.
I think at one time she woke you up because she wanted to cut your toenails and you were like, no.
I think she was like punching my feet or something, and I don't know if that was part of the massage or she was trying to wake me
It
up.
was because I got it too.
Oh, okay. So then I wake up to her, the guy on your side, you, and then other people just looking at me like, what'd I do? It was comfy. I suggest that to anyone
I could tell.
who wants
I could tell.
that. I was walking outside yesterday, taking the dog out.
Okay.
I had such a stoner moment without doing that. Where I'm like walking my dog and then I'm looking at a tree and I'm like, there was a point in time when that didn't have a name.
Like it was just there.
It was there and we didn't call it. It didn't have a word assigned to it.
I think about that all the time of like where things got their name or like where it originated from.
Yeah. Like we just call things random shit and it just stuck and that's what we call it now.
I guess, but then even like with language, it is translated more than enough times where like the word itself changes to where like how we know it as today.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm sure now I want to look this up.
About what?
I'm looking up where did the word tree come from.
Obviously it's going to be like, it is Latin for this and this, which...
The word, so Google AI says the word tree comes from Old English treo, which was used to describe trees, wood, timber. But the word tree comes from a number of linguistic sources, including Proto-Germanic and Indo-European.
You're just saying a bunch of words. I don't know. But still, like, even before that, like, so you go back in history to when it started, but then that means before that time period, there may have never been a word that was used, or it's been lost to time.
Because, like, this is saying the Latin word for tree is arbor.
Oh yeah, Arbor Day. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But then it's like, how do words become words? Because we have, like, fall and
How do
autumn.
words become words? Yes.
It's not like, why can't we just say one thing for... why don't we have one word for one thing?
Well, see, that could just be the different cultural words, and then we just have it. It's like adding the stupid "you" into words when you're spelling because of the British people.
Yeah, fuck you, Canadians.
Oh, they do it too?
You didn't know Canadians did the "you"?
No.
Really?
I thought it was just a British thing.
Don't you have Canadian friends?
I used to. I don't know what happened to them.
They're gone.
They haven't texted me in a long time, and It's all on my old phone, so I don't have their number anymore. So
No.
I don't know if they're even alive anymore.
That's sad. But no, yeah, Canadians do that too. And I get why. It's because their whole government is French,
Yeah,
British,
pretty much.
European.
Yeah, French, because you have the
Yeah.
French Canadian side on the east. But it's just crazy to me that like, because whenever I went to get my first checkout for my head, and I'm like showing like all the parts that like are just I'm sore at and all this stuff, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's this muscle and this muscle," and I thought about it more. I'm like, we just made that shit up of what that muscle was called.
we just made that shit up.
We did.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
Eyeballs or eyes, like everything is just a made up word that we assign to something, and we just accept it.
Now, okay, I'm gonna do one other search here. All I had to do was type in "where do," and the first result was "where do words come from?"
How are they established? But think about it too, like the watt, the ampere, volt, those are all just people's last names.
True.
And we just assigned it to the thing that we now know it as.
Right.
Again, it just is a made up thing that came from someone's name, and we're just like, oh yeah, that's what this thing is now.
I forget what it was, but I saw a meme the other day of like the easiest way to remember how many feet are in a mile is it's like 5280.
5 tomatoes. Yeah. This is the 5280.
But then it's like the easiest way to remember kilometers is just adding 1,000.
Yeah.
because the rest of the world wasn't drunk when they were looking at numbers.
Dude, trying to explain anything to anyone not from the US using imperialism of how this shit works is so confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how many inches are in a foot? 12.
Mm-hmm.
How many feet are in a yard? 12? No, that's 3. Like, if we based everything off of 12, that would make more sense.
Yeah.
But it's just so arbitrary of these measurements that we're just like, if you don't have this stupid 5 tomatoes, no one's gonna remember. No one's gonna remember how many feet are in a mile.
Exactly. Like, why do we have to come up with things to remember things?
Exactly. Well, sometimes it's useful, like the planets.
Okay, but that's drilled into your head from like grade 1. So if you don't remember that now, I'm sorry. The education system has failed you.
Well, we already know that from my end that
That is very true.
my
Yes.
education was just shit.
From Hicksville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Aw.
Well, that combined with my ADD,
Oh, you didn't want to learn. That's the thing, too.
I remember specifically there was times in one of the schools, because we moved around a lot, my friend and I were just looking out the blinds and like watching the tractor guy making fun of him the whole time. And the teacher got so mad at us.
I don't know why that's so funny, but that tracks so much. And only you.
And then like in elementary school, I remember this was like 6th grade maybe,
Mm-hmm.
being in history or something, and I had 2 pencils on my desk and I pretended like they were wrestlers, and I never paid attention in class.
I'm sorry. What?
They were wrestlers. I made them wrestle and like do suplexes with pencils and stuff.
Are you normal?
We've established from the beginning of this show that
No. I know that, but it's like everything you're saying right now is taking it to a much deeper level that I'm concerned for you now.
These were signs from the get-go that my parents should have gotten me tested early on.
That's very
And they
true.
never did. So I'm just, here I am today.
Congratulations.
Another thing, I always made comics.
Oh, really?
I don't think you ever did that about me, yeah.
No, I never did.
Always made my own comics, and
Aww.
unfortunately, like, I think I gave them all to my friend because we were making a collection out of them, and then I never saw them again, so I don't have them. That, and I would draw. Have you ever seen the anime Zoids?
No.
Oh, it's such a good show. I would make up my own Zoids with their own weapon system and like draw those and stuff.
Wow.
I did all this instead of learning.
makes a lot of sense now as to why you are the way you are and how I have to teach you things that you should have learned in school.
Actually, that's a good point. Maybe it wasn't the school system. Maybe it was just me.
Maybe it's just you. I would really love for you to go back and learn all this shit and just see like how much you actually know and how much you missed out from like watching tractors go by.
Watching tractors. The problem is I do well in school. Like in college, I almost got a 4.0, but it's like...
But that was stuff that you wanted to learn.
No. Like this is like calculus and trigonometry and like the general classes that I don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
The thing is I'm good with those subjects to pass the class. And then once I'm done with that class, my brain's like Control A, delete. And then I don't have that information anymore. So whenever it's like people, as you do this too, where it's just like, oh, I remember this one specific thing about this one math equation to do this. I'm like, how the hell do you still have that in your brain?
Honestly, it's just because that either teachers or professors have drilled it so much into our heads that I can't forget no matter how much I try.
Like, I guess that's a good thing.
Is it? Because now I have stuff of like useless information that I never need, and like I have a bad short-term memory that I can't remember what I had for dinner last night.
That's just age.
Is it?
Yes.
Because that wasn't like this before. I think it's from meeting you, honestly.
You're getting older, so your brain is going downhill.
But I also met you, who was like, I've met you.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Take it how you want it.
I completely lost my train of thought.
My point exactly. You do this so much that it's bled onto me. Now I do it too.
That's not true.
That is true.
Back whenever I first met you,
I had a good memory.
You would do that thing where you zoned out and just do the blank face into nothing, and I had to like snap my fingers to get your attention.
That was me resting my brain from all kinds of hard thinking. Something you need to do.
I know, I probably do. What were you talking about though? I forget.
School? Words?
Oh, remembering things. There's a guy on... The irony.
So, wow.
If anything, I'm consistent.
You're not wrong, no.
There's a guy on YouTube Shorts I've been watching a lot where there's a shape, like a very odd shape, and one of the areas is highlighted, and he's like, all right, we're going to find the area of this area inside of this word shape. And he does all this fucking geometry and whatnot to figure out all these other things to then solve for this middle thing. Mm-hmm. And he's like, all right, so we're going to use this theorem and all this stuff, Pythagorean theorem. This is a triangle, so we're going to, and I'm like, dude, how do you remember all this shit to do all this stuff? It is so impressive. It goes back to what we talked about before. I feel like if I had Adderall, it would unlock my brain to its full potential. I
really want to test that. I want to give you just one pill and just see where that goes.
I cleaned everything and everything's organized and everything's all good and I have so much time in the day.
My brain is open.
Do you want to guess how much I've watched YouTube Shorts? 0 today. That was like the guy we worked with who had ADD. Did
he ever take anything for that? I don't think he did.
So that's what I was getting at is I talked to him the one time and I'm like, oh, I need to get tested for that. He's like, oh yeah, I just got medication for that and I think it's working great. Meanwhile, he's sitting there looking at boats on his screen because he's like, I thought about boats, so I wanted to look them up. And I'm like, clearly you need more medication because it's not working.
Let's up the dosage there, buddy.
Let's try something new.
So we talked about how I couldn't get the one mushroom thing from Stardew.
Oh, shit, yeah.
I think I figured it out.
You did. Okay.
I did.
So now that you figured it out, mm-hmm. and you know it was in a crafting menu, mm-hmm. does now my hint make sense?
No.
How does it not make sense? It's not on the map unless you want it to be. What does that mean? You have to craft it and put it somewhere for it to be on the map.
You didn't have to say it like that.
You're bad at riddles.
Hey, I don't do puzzles like you. I have woman ADD.
Okay, now that's something new I learned about you, is that you are not good at riddles. We should do an escape room.
We should. I've been wanting to.
Just the both of us trying to do that would be just chaos, and we wouldn't make it very far.
I mean, I guess it depends on what kind.
What kind of what? Escape room?
Well, like what kind of riddles they are.
The one time, I've only done it once, and it was pretty in-depth of riddles.
Okay. It's one of those things, like for me at least, it's like, if you don't know how to word it correctly, I won't get it.
It's kind of like those math problems, too, where they...
Those giant wordy math problems. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good. You figured it out.
Yeah. No thanks to you.
I wanted you to figure it out on your own.
You could have said something.
Yeah, but that's just like when you wanted to find something else that was a mission. And I was like, you'll figure it out. You'll find it. And you found it eventually.
Yeah, I did.
Now I'm waiting for you to... There's one more...
No.
There's one more finding mission.
We're not talking to this. No.
So I'm waiting for that to happen too.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear you for anything.
Why?
Because then I will have questions and you won't want to help. So...
Exactly. You'll figure it out.
Exactly. So let's just keep it at that.
But also, speaking of stuff that we were just talking about with the last episode, I was talking about my fear of the CT scan and pulling out my piercings, but then we learned that that's not a CT scan, that is an MRI.
Yes.
This just happened recently where a woman went to use get an MRI.
Okay.
And she didn't remove her butt plug when going into the MRI.
Okay, questions. First of all, why?
Why? What?
Why would you go to a doctor's office with that still in?
That was my first thought whenever I saw this article. It's not like you show up and they're like, oh, surprise, you're going to get an MRI. Like, usually that's something you know about ahead of time.
That's something you have to schedule.
So you know that this is going to be a thing. Why would you keep that in?
Yeah, but then it's also like, they ask you, so why don't you say anything?
Embarrassment is the only thing I could think of.
But then it's like, you know it's metallic and you know what an MRI is. Or like they warn you ahead of time. Like, did you have any metals on you?
Oh, do they?
Yeah, you've never had an MRI before?
Long time ago. I can't remember.
I always remember because I used to get them all the time because I had some sort of thing, not amnesia, insomnia.
Insomnia. You have amnesia now. Insomnia
Thanks.
before.
But I always like remember going to the doctors to get like tested for like sleep.
Oh, okay.
And they'd want to like do MRIs too to like get that imaging of my head.
Oh, that makes sense.
So then it's always like, they even ask you too, like even if you don't have one, do you have any pacemakers on you?
Well, that's completely understandable.
Right. But then there's also like, do you have like any other metals on you that we don't know about?
I wonder if this person just didn't realize that beneath the silicone
The thing was metallic?
metal.
I guess.
So anyways, like she went to get this MRI and as you would imagine, it sucked that into her body and caused some damage.
I love this article because it's saying that an ambulance did take her to the hospital afterwards, but the patient's ultimate fate is unknown. So like, did she die?
With something like that, like you're having a projectile go through your butthole into your organs.
I guess, yeah.
And sadly, this isn't the first time that this has happened.
No.
Like this is a common thing where people wear butt plugs to MRIs and then it gets sucked into their organs and then it's like you're pretty much just sending a bullet through your butt.
Pretty much. There's a story in here too of like, there's been more than one incident of like people bringing stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman ended up getting shot in her ass because she brought a gun in inside the MRI room. First of all, how did you get past that with anyone not noticing?
In today's age, seems almost impossible to get that into a hospital.
Yeah, even the hospital where like downstairs from where I work, they recently, I think it was like a few months ago, put up a sign that says no firearms are allowed.
I wonder what caused that.
So exactly, now it's like a warning sign gets put up because of something. Now I'm like, what happened here?
What was the thing to cause the sign? And there's also that one thing of like, the one time that SWAT went into the hospital and broke into the MRI room, and it like just fucked shit up because their guns got sucked out of their hands and went like crashing into the machine.
Oh, interesting.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I would imagine there's giant signs on the outside of MRI rooms to say like no metal objects beyond this point.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, like even with like x-rays too, they like tell you not to like have things on you.
Yeah, they have that. They have a giant sign on the outside of the room that says x-rays in use so you don't enter the room. Like
exactly, yeah.
There's a lot of safety that goes into that, and that's exactly where my fear was coming from with the CT scan. I'm like,
no, I completely get that.
All I could imagine was my lips slowly being pulled up and then like it pulling through my lip, and then I like, what would you do if I showed up and like we hung out one day and you just saw my lip in 2 pieces with no lip ring?
I'd be very concerned. But then I would also be like, that was about to happen. With how much you bite on it.
I don't bite on it. What?
You like...
I move it around.
And that's biting on it with your teeth.
Oh yeah, it's probably not good for my teeth at all.
I can see you trying not to do that now too.
It's like my fidget toy on my face.
That's not good.
That brings up the question then, for you specifically, like with your earrings, you got to take those out too, right?
For an MRI, yeah. Which, it's been such a long time that I've gotten an MRI, and I'm pretty sure back in the day I didn't have all these piercings. I
think I've tested my lip ring on a magnet before, and I don't think it works.
What's yours made out of?
I don't know. Now that makes me question what it's made out of.
Well, maybe when you get more to replace however old that is that you currently have on your mouth right now.
What I have now, both my nose and my lip, have been the default piercings since I got them done, more or less.
That's not good.
Why?
Because you're supposed to change them out to a standard piercing. Because if you...
No, it is, yeah.
They're not like piercing earrings.
Or, yeah, it's the ones right after the piercing ones.
So you didn't get pierced with those?
No.
Because I was going to say, if you kept those piercing ones, that's, first of all, disgusting.
No. I got pierced, and then after they healed,
you changed them out.
To these, and I've never changed them at all since then. Please
tell me you've washed them at least.
I do.
Okay.
I'm very particular about cleaning everything and making sure everything's good. It's one of those things of, I've seen people size up their lip piercings and whatnot, and it's just like a giant hole in their lip.
Oh, why?
My only thing is like, if you take it out and then you're drinking something, like it just leaks out of your thing like a faucet.
I mean, I could say the same thing about you, technically.
With what?
Because there is a hole there.
I've tried.
No.
It doesn't work.
Does it at least dribble?
No. It's too small of a gauge. I did meet someone, though, who had their lip pierced to a little bit higher gauge. And they were able to put water in their mouth and shoot it out like a stream.
I don't like... That reminds me of those rubber ducks that you could like squeeze with water and like shoot stuff out.
That's pretty much exactly it. I mean, yeah, it kind of gross, but at the same time, you're cleaning out the hole with water.
I guess that's true, yeah.
So it's like sanitary.
But I mean, that's like a shower too.
No, thank you. I think that'd be too painful to size anything up like that.
No. But speaking of, you sent me this article and I was very scared to click on it. I opened all these in incognito, by the way.
Oh, I now understand why you would be concerned about this one. I didn't even think about that.
See, it's you who's corrupted me. I wasn't like, I would have, before I met you, I would have had the most cleanest thoughts. And now after meeting you, this is what happens after talking to you for 5,000 years now.
Now that I have written down, because we have like a rundown of different topics that we could cover if we get to it. The description of this is I put a TikTok trend makes cucumbers go out of stock. Completely didn't even think about what that could imply.
Yeah. And that's what I thought too, if that was what it would be, which is why I was like, okay, let's just jump off this real quick. But now looking at it, I'm like, oh.
It's so PG.
It's normal.
I guess the way you were thinking of it could be a way to.
I mean, going back real quick for the other MRI article, I'm seeing ads for stuff that should not be bought on Temu. First of all, these are toys for personal time.
Really? Or
for me, yes. Based off the article. This is incognito, by the way, so they don't know what I'm like.
Is it at the very bottom?
No, it's just every single, like, this article has ads in between paragraphs, right?
Mine doesn't.
Mine does. And every single one is sexy time toys on Temu.
Hey, it's like, we know what this is. This article is about, so you must be curious about this.
We know why you clicked on this.
That was one thing we're gonna get back to the cucumbers. That's one thing I absolutely hate
About?
and any of these things that use algorithms to base of what to show you, the TikTok, the Instagram, or YouTube. Because it's like, if I see something new show up in my YouTube Shorts feed, I have to quickly go forward, because if I even bother to watch that clip for 5 seconds,
that's gonna, like, no.
Yeah. So there's one, it was a bird jumping around screaming. And I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. All the shorts after that were just birds jumping around and being weird and stuff. I'm like, I'm not into birds. Like, there's one video I thought was funny. I hate how on the dime it just switches.
I mean, you're not wrong. I think I saw a video once where it's like something to do with cars, because I was like, you know what, this is useful information to have, say if I'm stuck somewhere. And every single video after that was just mechanic TikTok, and I'm like,
Yep.
I don't care.
Yep. If I watch a video on how to fix something on my car, I get mechanic videos nonstop.
Yep.
It's like, there's just one thing I needed to look up.
Although now it's like, there's one good thing with that, of like, I saw this one TikTok of like nostalgic 2000s emo pop punk music. But now my algorithm's like, oh, she likes this. Now it's like introducing newer bands.
That is one positive to that.
I do like that.
Yes.
Because now all of my like liked videos or like saved videos are like different bands that I want to check out.
Yep. That's the only positive to that entire thing.
Like newer artists or like new things that like you could support.
Yes. But if I watch one video on how to change the spark plugs in my engine, I don't care about other people's engines and cars. I just needed to learn about mine. Not like I have this whole new fascination about engines now. It was a learning thing. That's all I care about. There should be a thing after you watch a video like, oh, why did you watch that video? It's like, I'm just trying to learn for this. So then
TikTok does that for me.
Oh, really?
I don't know if YouTube Shorts does that for you. It's like, did you find the video above interesting? Tell us why.
Oh, yeah, it has. I always ignore it.
Yeah, same. You're not going to get anything more out of me.
You're not getting more information than I'm already supplying you.
R.I.P. TikTok.
Oh, yeah, didn't that just get sold?
I don't know.
I think I saw a thing of like they're being forced. And that's. How. I don't even know the word, but.
You're struggling there.
I know, it's my brain. But for the US to be like, this company needs to be sold to someone in the US, that just seems really fucked up, right?
Yeah, because, okay, they're already concerned of the Chinese government spying on us. The American government already does.
Yes.
So it's like, if you give this to somebody, or like some American company, they're for sure gonna install something that's like, we're gonna give this information to the government.
But they're already doing that for the Chinese stuff. I told you that story about with the jumping wolf, or oh my god, the jumping spider, and how I had that conversation with you about jumping spiders, and then it showed up nonstop jumping spider videos on TikTok.
Right.
So that means it was just listening to every conversation, every word.
But that's like, that goes back to Apple though too, because they're just in a lawsuit saying Siri's been listening to you.
I don't. Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm crashing here.
So now they're getting sued because it's like, it wasn't supposed to happen. But it's like, if you had Siri enabled and say, hey Siri, of course it's going to start listening, or it's going to have been listening to you, because how will it know that you said those words?
Yep.
So that's why I've been having mine disabled since like my first iPhone.
I never have it enabled.
Exactly.
Any phone that has one of those, hey, whatever, It's never enabled on that phone.
No, same. I have Apple Intelligence turned off too. They're not getting shit from me.
I used to have one of those Alexa pod things.
Same.
Oh,
I never
you did?
installed it.
I did. I always used it. And then one day it clicked. I'm like, this thing's always listening. Like, even though it says in the thing it's not listening, it is, because it has to be.
It has to, yeah. It has to.
So now I never plugged it back in after that.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I never like plugged in Google Home or an Alexa, because it's like that's connected to an IP address.
Yep.
Someone can easily like hack and infiltrate all that, find out where I live and like kidnap me. And I was just going through this deep rabbit hole of like trafficking and like all this stuff, all from just an Amazon Alexa. And I'm like, not installing these.
Yep. And it goes back to what we talked about before. Like, it's because of shit like this where I feel like, at least me, I'm going backwards on technology where I'm like, this is too much now and I don't want this.
I'm slowly getting to that point.
Yeah. I just feel like the whole AI movement is causing that to happen a lot more.
Yeah.
That's the big thing too, is you were saying how you disabled Apple Intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that they're having troubles getting people to convert to Windows 11 because no one wants that fucking Copilot thing built into their operating system.
Exactly. Wait, do I have that? I do have that. Fuck.
You upgraded?
No, I always have Windows 10.
It's on?
I don't think so. I have to sign in. It's like a Copilot uses AI. By interacting with Copilot, you agree to the terms of use. I'm never going to interact with that.
I don't have it at all.
Can I delete it?
Probably not. I think if you can delete it, they'll put it back onto your computer.
Fuck.
Yep.
Oh, you know why I have it? It's because I've had to reinstall Windows 10.
Oh, they stuck it on.
They stuck it on. It's like that Apple thing with the U2 album.
I know. It's like, I don't want this shit.
I don't, and you could never remove it.
It's so fucking annoying. So what the thing is like they're having troubles getting people to convert to 11. So it might not even happen now, like, because they need a certain amount of people to convert to 11 to force the update to 11.
Isn't that already happening though? Because it's like Windows 10 will shut down.
They're trying to scare you into getting a Windows 11. If they can't get enough people to 11, they can't force the shutdown on 10.
That's true.
So it's like, anyone who's listening, if you have Windows 10, stay strong and keep Windows 10. We can prevent this from happening.
Make Windows 10 great again.
I wonder, like, I really hope it doesn't go through.
Would you rather have TikTok as it is now or TikTok with an American company backing it?
Do I have to pick one? Can I just choose C, none of them?
No, you have to pick one or the other.
I guess probably how it is now, because if it's the Chinese government, what the fuck are they going to do with my information?
Exactly.
The American ones, they can fuck you up even more than...
Exactly. And it's funny because those of you who watch Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary is teaming up to try and buy it.
Oh, God.
And rebuild it in a way that prioritizes the privacy of its users.
I mean, I hope so, but I also don't like that guy.
Exactly. I don't want him getting all my information.
He does, from what I know about his history, it's like he does not seem trustworthy at all.
Not at all, no. I was watching something on Netflix, I think it was yesterday or the day before, of like how local police use, to put it in dumber words, portable cell towers.
Okay.
So instead of your phone connecting to a Verizon tower, the police portable cell tower they could just drive around and take that signal from, or provide that signal for you. So it's not connecting to an actual Verizon tower, it's connecting to a local police tower.
Right.
Up to the point where they can access all your information.
Oh, wow.
And they're trying to keep it secret. Every police department that uses it, they don't want to talk about it.
This is why we're going backwards on technology. We just need to get rid of it all.
Like, I was watching that too, of like how to try to find this person. This person was off the grid, of like just trying to rent his apartment, because he was a criminal, of course. Trying to rent his apartment with money orders, like not using anything but like one of those Verizon Air cards.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he was like, I was in jail, but then I thought, how did they track me? Because I was off the grid. Yeah. I had no internet. So how did they find me?
Yeah, really.
And it became clear that they used which in my mind right now is highly illegal and an infringement on my rights.
Yes.
Of it did not actually connect to a Verizon tower. It connected to the portable cell tower, and that's how they got the IP address and like everything that was connecting him to it. So like all his accounts and everything were like, oh.
This is why you just need to go completely off the grid. No phone.
Exactly.
Just no TV, no cable.
Burn your social security card, burn your credit cards, burn everything. Go in like the middle of the forest and live there Ron Swanson style.
Pretty much. That's where it feels like I'm getting at too with all this. It's just that's what I just live in a cabin, have no clue what's going on in the world.
So I guess that one conspiracy theorist we worked with was right, in a sense.
About
Not wanting anything to connect him to anything.
well, I mean, that's not even a conspiracy theory. That's just the standard of us losing our rights
But he took it like one step further.
to the edge,
Yes.
and he's about to break.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to wrap up. But the cucumber story.
Yes, cucumbers.
So there's a TikTok trend going on where a guy just made a cucumber salad.
Right.
And apparently this blew up so much that
In Iceland, by the way.
in Iceland that people are buying all the cucumbers and farmers can't keep up with the production of cucumbers.
That's yeah. Because now I'm thinking like, when is a good time to even plant cucumbers in Iceland?
You're asking someone who doesn't farm and not in Iceland. Why would I have that information on hand?
I don't know. You gave me this article. I figured you'd look it up.
No, because I don't care about when is the right time to grow cucumber in Iceland.
So he basically made a cucumber salad, cream cheese, something.
Yeah, it was a cucumber salad where it's just a bunch of basic ingredients that you toss into a thing and you shake it up and then it makes this coated cucumber thing. Just it's crazy how a trend like this, because it reminds me of the sriracha peppers just not being able to grow.
Yeah.
And now there's a TikTok trend that is pretty much throwing the cucumber market into a frenzy because they can't keep up.
Because I didn't even hear about this until now. So it's like, what are people in Iceland watching? And why did they find this so interesting? Because it's literally just cucumbers.
It's one of those things of like these poor farmers are probably like, oh, we know exactly how many people don't use cucumbers that often. So here you go.
Exactly.
Like, here's how much. Then all of a sudden there's just this tidal wave of orders. This is just like, oh God, we can't keep up. We weren't prepared for this.
Have you ever tried TikTok recipes?
No, you could just stop at, have you ever tried TikTok? Hard line. Stop it there. No.
I mean, because it always bleeds through to other social media. I pulled a U.
I have a lot of recipes saved from YouTube that I have yet to get to, but I have them saved. I showed you one too that was on the YouTube shorts of, it was like some chicken something. And it looked delicious. And I was like, ooh, I want to make this one day.
Would you try this?
Yeah, why not? I like cucumbers. Do you,
Okay.
do you not like cucumbers?
No, I do.
Oh. What was that reaction to that? Not in that sense.
Put two and two together, buddy.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
No, it's your fault.
I could definitely see the trend going the way you were thinking of it. Like, oh God, what are they doing with the cucumbers?
I mean, seeing what the state of social media is currently, I wouldn't be surprised if it did go there.
This is true. It makes me like, now this guy knows how much power he has. Could he make another recipe with something else? Like potatoes or something, and then just destroy the potato market? It's just like,
destroy Ireland.
this guy needs to stop making recipes because he's gonna collapse Ireland.
Oh, imagine holding that much power over a country.
You like have the number for the president of Ireland, like, hey, I'm gonna be dropping this video, you better be prepared. The most I know about for like cucumbers is cucumber water, and you just cut them up into circles and put a little bit of salt on them and then eat them. What else are they used for?
That's true. I mean, besides pickles.
Oh fuck, they are. Yeah, they are pickles.
Good job.
I forgot about that. Would you ever try making your own pickles?
I have once.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Because my brothers were in Boy Scouts, and so one of the scout masters, I guess, had like a pickling like community thing at his house.
oh, okay.
And so like we all went there, like it was for the scouts and like their family, so we all went there and like made our own pickles.
How did it turn out?
Delicious.
Was it easy? It seems like something that's easy to do.
Yeah, it took a couple hours, I think. That's it.
Oh,
You just have to have the materials for it.
right. Yeah, the jars to put them in and stuff. Maybe I'll try that this year.
Yeah.
All right, but somehow we're already at the end of the episode. Don't know how we got here so fast. But if you like that episode, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Go follow our YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. Forgot one.
And yeah.
At Intersint Pod. We'll see you next week.
Bye.